Pacheca.
T2 Rad.
And we are KT Azteka and Indigenous Network, bringing you live
Knowledge, cultura, música. Happy full moon, everyone.
It's a very nice moon outside tonight here in the city of Riverside.
Está bien,
Yeah. Awesome. So let's just let's just jump back into it. Last week when we were talking about was we see the Tatuani of the second Tatuani of Tenochtitlan. Now we're going to talk about the third Tatuani of Tenochtitlan, which is Chimapopoca. Can I get some of those pictures up there?
Yeah, keep talking. I'm working on it.
All right. Let's do this.
I thought you were going to be asking for some tissue.
Oh, I'm a little sick, so bear with us. The weather's been bad. So Chimapopoca was one of the youngest Tatuanis of Tenochtitlan. His name means smoking mirror shield. Smoking mirror shield. Want to say it?
Smoky mirror shield. It's hard to say 3 times fast.
Yeah.
The tongue twister.
Yeah. So he was at the age of 20 the Tatuani, and which again just means the speaker of the people, the elder speaker. And his grandpa was the king of Azpocotzalco, Tizomoc. So at this time, at this point in history, Tenochtitlan was a tribute city to Azpocotzalco, so they were paying them taxes in ways of feathers, cacao, pelts, even up to men for sacrifice. But then, since Chimapopoca was the grandson, he was asking for all these favors of the Tatuani, like, can we build, one of the things that he asked for was to build an aqueduct that would run water from El Cerro de Chapultepec. Sorry, these are very tongue twisters. And he would run the water from there, fresh, clean water, to the city. And this really enraged all the nobles of Azpocotzalco. Here we go, Azpocotzalco.
Wait, they don't see that. Okay.
They don't see that.
We see it right now.
It's a map.
Okay, go. Now we see it.
So that's Azpocotzalco, the kingdom of it. And so the fresh water was running through there, and after the king died, this really enraged Maxtla, which was the second king of Azpocotzalco. After that, they went to war, and Chimapopoca. There we go. That's Chimapopoca, and as you can see on the top side, has the smoking mirror shield. And this enraged the king. This enraged Maxtla, which is the new king of Azpocotzalco. So what he did was he got right here, and it shows the picture of the Tatuani being captured and taken back to Azpocotzalco and being paraded as a capture in a cage. And because again the fresh water was built, the aqueduct, so that enraged a lot the Mexica people, because they locked up their king in a small cage and was being paraded like a captive. And it said that after that they killed them, and that's the story of Chimapopoca. You want to add a little story to it, or what were you going to say today?
What I was going to say today,
Yeah.
Thank you for the history lesson. Connecting to the past and the effects of the future, last time we mentioned about Spain apologizing to Mexico, really to Latin America, right?
Yeah.
And well, you can include the U.S. as part of Latin America for the atrocities that it caused and the effects that continue to hold on to.
Right, like historical trauma.
Historical trauma, right. Colonization does do that. And also we mentioned about, giving back Montezuma's Copiri. Why not? It belongs to Mexico, right?
Yeah. First of all, how did these items get to to Europe?
So actually, it's not this image. It's
no?
the image is of Esau Easy with the feathers behind his head. To the right, to the right, to the right. No, that's not easy.
You should have supposedly.
Next picture. It's the
The
replica.
big one?
The one
That
that,
one.
yeah. This image is a replica of Montezuma's propili. This is held in the Museo de Antropología in Mexico City. And so it's like the replica, however, the original still exists. Why not Mexico have its own original item? And so not just this item, but there's other sacred items that Mexico deserves to have back. It's not like Mexico doesn't know how to handle its own sacred items.
Yeah.
And, right? Why not?
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Take it back to Mexico.
And presently it's in Vienna, Italy. Okay? Why should it even maintain there if the ancestors are not even from Italy?
Right.
They have nothing over there of ours.
Like,
Well,
how they
that-
get-
How to get there, right? Why is it still there? And
you, the viewer, ask yourself, how did it get there?
yes. And what's interesting, because when you search, do a internet search of stolen items from Mexico, that doesn't come up as stolen. Why is it not even classified as something stolen if it doesn't even belong to Italy? As well as with the Dresden Codices, there's 3 of them that are known to be the oldest writings, codices in the Americas, and these, there's no image for it.
Codice right here.
That's one of the codices, but the Dresden, they're being held, one is in Dresden, Paris, and, where's the third one?
Germany.
No, Spain, Madrid. So there's 3 of them still being held in Europe. This one that we're always carrying around is the Codex Borgia, and this one is held where?
The Vatican.
The Vatican.
The Pope.
With the Pope, who I think should also apologize for the atrocities.
Plays by
And I
dogfights.
think it's not
rolls
just
in.
like a
They
simple
did lose the-
apology, but actions mean more than words. By giving back items, give back the gold too while you're at it.
The feathers.
Everything.
Everything, jade, the people.
Yeah, and how Western civilization has framed indigenous culture as low grade, low education, savages that the Christian world had to come and civilize us. But in reality, we had our own system, we had our own way of charting the stars, knowing how the world works. Our world that was being created, our ancestors created. So what's to say that Western civilization is better than our civilization?
Right, because if you think about it, when the Western civilization discovered the circles and roundness, our people were like way past that. That was a toy already. So
Old news.
They kept count of the astronomy.
right, the concept of zero comes from the
had-
Mayans.
They had a great trading system, like from Canada all the way to Central Valley of Mexico, and all that's just been destroyed and supposedly reinvented again through all this new technology that it's already been old.
It's like they visited the future first and then began their civilization.
Right, and said, "Oh, look what we discovered."
And then everybody just caught on late.
Right? So even the language that's being still used of what, back to like what's being stolen. So when you do search things that have been stolen, things that have been returned back is those first images of the Olmecs, if you want to put those up again, of the Olmecs. These are 2 wooden carvings. 15 are known to exist. They come from Veracruz. 2 of them were stolen from a man who was from Costa Rica, and he smuggled them to Europe, and so with Germany, right? And so it took 10 years of litigation to get them back to Mexico, and that was pretty recent, 2018, when these were given back, and these are artifacts that are from 1200 BC.
Pretty old.
Right, and another thing that if you search of things that were stolen, the U.S. did give back about 4,000 artifacts. We don't have images of all of those, of not just from Mexico, from other countries as well that were smuggled through the U.S. border for the Mexico-Texas area, as well as hundreds of artifacts that were stolen from a museum in Coahuila, which is south of Texas, and as well as items that were stolen from indigenous territories of the Tarahumara, where people were paid, hey, let me give you some money, so, you know, cash money, right? So I could understand the concept of people smuggling for money. However, when you get to the top where it's like, okay, colonizers took these hundreds of years ago, we understand colonization, we understand that, hey, we did something wrong, if that's even, if they even believe that they did something wrong, to, hey, let me give this back to you.
Yeah, you know, they just put it in a museum and call it authentic. They just put it there and say, we can't ship it back due to it might break, it might get damaged or something, but we don't know that. And it's only fair that we could try to get our artifacts back, because that's our culture and our history, and more than our history, it's our identity too.
That is so true. Like,
Uh-huh.
they're not even attempting to ship it back. Like, that doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the people of Mexico.
Any questions, audience? Or comments, or if you know of any other artifacts that should be given back to the Americas or to indigenous people across the world? Do y'all remember in like the movie Wakanda when they stole the artifacts?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Maybe that will start happening. Actually, it has happened where people go back and, you know, steal their items from that were stolen from their ancestors that are in museums. So that does happen. Power to the people.
La gente.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of misconceptions that there were these gods and and we had to sacrifice people just to appease gods and everything like that. But people don't understand that it was a different time, a different mentality about the indigenous ways of life. And one of the main gods was Huitzilopochtli, which Titu ran right here. We'll just give a little brief description about who he was and what the importance of Huitzilopochtli is.
Just the general information. Do you want to pull up the Huitzilopochtli picture so they see the god of sun and war? Huitzilopochtli was born in Coatepec, the mountain, near the city of Tula. He's known to be the son and war of God. The son and war of God, and he was with the supporting side of the southern side, right? He was first introduced to that book that Claudia was mentioning earlier, the Codex, the Borgia. Yeah. Is there another picture of Huitzilopochtli?
Yes. So his name means hummingbird of the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
The left side.
And what he's holding on his right side is called the Chihuahua, and it's a lightning bolt that is a mythical lightning bolt. And so he's just ready for battle.
Yeah, what's beautiful about, like, you know, a hummingbird being a symbol of a warrior is like, a hummingbird is like the smallest little bird that you could see. So someone won't even necessarily think of, oh, that's a symbol of
A warrior, somebody strong.
Right.
You think of an eagle right away. But if you ever see a hummingbird and it's so territorial, those little battles that they have are crazy.
Have you ever seen a hummingbird battle against a hawk? That's a crazy fight right there.
So the Mexica had two main deities or energies on their temples. One was dedicated to Huitzilopochtli and the other one to Tlaloc, which it's right here on the drum, the image of Tlaloc. And Tlaloc was very important due to the fact it was the rain energy. So water equals crops, crops equals good food.
Right.
Yeah. And we should have mostly just kept the energy moving of the world. So it's just the philosophy behind it. I think it's beautiful.
It is.
You know, honor water.
Like everything that our ancestors left us is beautiful. And I think it's great that you're learning about Huitzilopochtli, Titura. You introduced that to us because that's that's the energy you're working with, right?
Yeah.
Hummingbird
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. My name is. Well, it was given to me, that name, by Bear Rivera, our late. He passed away back in 2013.
13.
13.
So just give thanks for
Yeah.
you bringing that up about Huitzilopochtli and how you're attached to that. And so
Call him my father.
So just giving thanks that we can honor these ancestors through danza, through talking to all of you, and also, you know, take away that stigma of that our ancestors are savages. Because I think when I say us going through the educational system, in our history books in elementary school, we only get like 3 pages.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's so much history, so much knowledge, so much beauty.
You would think there would be more history in the textbook, because California and like some of the states of the U.S. belong to Mexico. So it's like, why aren't they talking about that? How they took away land, you know?
Well, and what's interesting is when they do talk about that, like California and Spain being all part of Mexico, and it's like the mission system, how beautiful that was, right? But
Right.
really, it was even more atrocities that were happening to the Cahuilla people, the Serrano,
The
Pueblo, and all
mission,
that.
the missions were built as a system of civilization, of civilizing the natives. So that's what would happen inside a mission. You were being civilized, because Western world is supposedly civilized,
And we're not.
and we're not. But
Yeah,
yeah, we're,
tame
we're the
us.
ones that taught the missionary how to grow corn properly, because they only knew how to grow wheat. We knew how to grow squash, beans, in the winter too.
Tortillas.
Hey.
Cool. You done?
Am I done? We're never done. But I think we were going to share a song. Are we still going to
Yeah.
do that? All
Right,
right.
we're still gonna share
Titura
this
was
song.
going to share a song.
It's called the fire song.
Okay, a fire song. All right.
Song, I learned it in practice when I was like young. We went to Golden Park.
You're still young.
I am young, but I was younger. And honestly, I have like really bad memory. It been so long that I forgot the group's name and who taught it to me. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I thank you if you're seeing this. Whoever taught me this song.
You know who it was? No,
No.
tampoco? All right.
Dios te madre todos, is because we have lava inside the earth. So it's like fire, you know. He's everywhere. He's out and in earth. So
And inside us.
and inside us. So that's what it represents. We carry, you know,
The fire.
the fire.
Mhm.
So that's what I know about that song.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Such a nice song. It's in Nahua and Spanish, so there's a double translation to it, so it could be understood in both languages. And it's a beautiful night out here in Riverside. A little cold, but yesterday we had our practice, and it was pretty amazing. Sucks that we didn't take no pictures or photos to show you of the amazing time we had yesterday. But you know, once you're in it and you're dancing, it's just there's no time for it. You're already in it.
I know, right? We always say we're gonna step out and videotape it. Oh no one says videotape it anymore.
Right.
Record it.
Record.
Film it.
Film it.
You have a
But-
VCR recording, like
I
walking
know.
around, a huge VCR block.
I know.
But
right?
as all of you saw the photo that was just posted, that's our address to our place that we practice with Corazon Counseling. Shout out Emilia.
Hey.
And
all-
this video was brought to you by today.
Fried Red Hut.
Woohoo! Yeah. It'll be every Sunday at the farmers market here in the city of Riverside. So if you're here, go check them out in front of the Barnes and Noble in Tyler Mall. The address is right there from 8:30 to 1. They have amazing bison and a lot of vegan options too.
And we have a special message from Private Hut themselves. Would you guys like to see the message?
Thank
Oh,
you
they
for
would
coming out.
They would like
Thank
to
you
say,
for the customers.
yeah, thank you to the customers.
At Inconsiderate Board Shop, the event that happened last Sunday, as well as this farmers market, and next Sunday at the Black and Red Co-op in LA. If you can check us out there from 12 to 6 p.m.
So yeah, just stop on by, have a chit chat,
Eat some
Let us
yummy bison.
and let us know what you think.
And then we have, don't forget to try out our hibiscus flower taco.
And a big shout out to Bonnie last week. Helped us out. Amazing.
La
dancer.
Blue.
Blue.
La Blue,
La
sorry.
Blue.
La Blue. Hashtag La Blue.
I swear, so you would be the worst criminal ever. I mean, yeah, we're both bad criminals. Selling out each other, huh?
So check us out next week, every Tuesday, around 7 p.m.
At the Tyler Mall. Follow us on
No.
Instagram.
Not at the
Here.
Tyler Mall, here.
Oh, here.
On Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We are not at the mall right now.
No.
Do not go, it's cold.
Don't listen to me.
But and also if there's anything you want us to talk about or get into more,
Let us know.
yeah, let us know.
Comment
Send us
it.
a message. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Thank
see you next
you.
week and give us a bunch
Peace
of
out.
comments.